Hi, Steve here with ThrillSurvivalTools.com. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one of the methods of getting water in an emergency. This is a type of solar still. In pretty much every survival book that I've read, and I'm sure all of them that I haven't read, you'll see this type of getting water, or this type of solar still for getting water mentioned in the books. The thing is, you don't hear people in the wilderness talking about this, and not very many people use them, if anybody at all. And I think the reason is because it takes a lot of effort for very little results as far as the amount of water that you get. But it is supposed to be a way to get some water if you need it. I've done a couple of these throughout my life, and I've never had very good results, but I'm going to try today and see how well I can do. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and dug a hole. The idea with this type of solar still is that you try to get all the moisture from the ground, and I don't think there is very much in the ground here right now because everything's very dry. And you can also use greens that have moisture in them and try to draw the moisture out of the greens using heat from the sun. So what you do is you need a cup. I'm going to use the canteen cup from my go bag. And then you also need some plastic to go over the hole. I've chosen to use part of the black garbage bag. You can do it with any type of plastic. Some people say that clear plastic is better because you can see what's going on. Black will make it hotter inside the still so that you may get better results, but you can't see what's going on inside when you're using the black plastic. I decided to go with the black plastic. The go bag has both clear and black plastic in it, but I want to use the clear plastic for my bed. So the idea is to place the cup in the center of your hole, and then if you have greens available, and I was able to find some greens that hopefully have some moisture, you're going to put those greens around the cup. I'll finish that in just a minute. Once the greens are in the hole, you put the plastic over the hole. When the sun hits the plastic, it heats everything up inside. It causes all the moisture inside the hole from the ground and the greens to condense underneath the plastic, and then you put a few pebbles in the center of the plastic, and all the condensation runs down the plastic and will drip into your cup. I'm going to get this a little bit more set up, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, I've gone ahead and spread out the greens around my canteen cup in the bottom of the hole. I had to cut some of the greens with my knife to get it all to fit nicely. The hole I dug is about 8 inches deep. It's about 2 feet long and about 1.5 feet wide. If the ground were moist, I may choose to dig a little bit bigger hole, but since I'm not very confident that I'm going to get much, if any, moisture out of the ground, I decided to leave the hole this size. Really, you could go bigger, and the garbage bag is plenty big enough to cover a larger hole than this. Next, I'm going to cover the hole with the plastic, and what I've done is I've placed 2 little sticks. What I'm using these sticks for is kind of a guide, so that once I've got the hole covered with the plastic, I'll know where my cup is. By drawing imaginary lines from where those sticks are, I should be able to know where the cup is, and therefore where to put the pebbles so that the water will drip down into the cup. I'm going to cover it with plastic and then show you how it looks when I'm done with the plastic. Okay, so I've got the hole covered with the black plastic. Instead of using a few pebbles, I just decided to use, just a decent sized little rock in the center because I needed a little bit more weight. That rock is positioned above the cup so that as the sun draws all the moisture from the greens that are around the cup, it can all condense on the underside of the plastic and hopefully run down the plastic and drip into the cup. I'm going to let this sit for 6 or 7 hours and then come back and see what kind of results that I got, how much water I was able to gather this way. I'll show you exactly how much water we get after about 6 or 7 hours. So it's been 7 hours since I covered this solar still with plastic. Since I had packed this thing full of pretty much all the moisture containing vegetation that I could find, and it sat out here, we did not collect one drop of water, not in the cup, and there was no condensation on top of the tarp, underneath the tarp on the underside. Really, I don't think for this climate, it's very arid, it's very, very dry. We're in the desert, the U.S. Southwest, and I don't think this is a viable option at all in this climate. It might work better somewhere where there's a lot of humidity, and if you could do it in ground that is wet, that has moisture in it, you may be able to draw the moisture out of the dirt, collect that, and have it drip down into the cup. But as for these arid desert climates, I would not use this in a survival situation. It took a lot of work. I burned a lot of calories and a lot of sweat trying to do this with zero results. I would not recommend this in a really arid desert climate as an option for water.